In the spirit of the holidays, we want you to celebrate with your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicappers and do it at a discount by giving you a one-time 25% off everything you can fit into your cart between now and midnight on December 25th using coupon code GIFT25 when checking out. While this coupon can only be used once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, the value is unlimited and there is no limit on what you can add to your cart when redeeming. Daily, all access, season, pick your team, and even mix and match handicappers as the combinations are endless. Remember, there is no limit to the number of handicappers at WagerTalk and Sports Memo you can lock in, but coupon code GIFT25 will expire at midnight on Christmas. On behalf of everyone at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and Gold Sheet, we want to thank you for supporting us in 2022 by watching our videos, following us on social media, and trusting us with your wagers. However you celebrate, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I am Lawrence Prezidental. Yes, I'm in the salmon shirt. He's Teddy Covers. You're watching the best daily sports betting show on the planet. Teddy Covers, R.I.P. Franco Harris. That's not Rip Franco Harris. We had an issue last week when you thought I was ripping Mike Leach. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay. On today's show, of course, we're going to open up with Bryan Leonard. What's that?
Tell us, Teddy.
I'm trying. But
tell us again. Do it again.
On today's show, Bryan Leonard will join us. He's going to talk about a two-team teaser in the NFL. He's also going to talk a little NHL action for tonight, the Lightning and the Red Wings. Tony Finn's coming in next. He's going to talk about the Clippers and Hornets in NBA action and TCU and Utah in college hoops. I'm going to break down the Thursday night NFL game, Jaguars and the Jets, in my big game breakdown. And if we are lucky, we'll have Art Dicesare to close out the show. He was having some internet connectivity issues this morning. We'll see if he's able to join us. If not, Prez, you can do a longer than usual presidential address.
Well, yesterday's presidential address, and I could be wrong, but I think I swept the board. I think I gave out 4 plays and they all won. Jessica, we love Jessica. She writes Prez with the 5% winner. Guys, I got to tell you, man, I had an outstanding sales day on my 5% NHL play yesterday, and it means the world to me that you guys, and especially Teddy, you know I've been mired in an NHL 3-week hellish slump, but I spotted a play yesterday that I absolutely loved. I put out a 5% play on the Winnipeg Jets. Brother, it was 5-1 in the second period. It was exactly what a 5% play is supposed to be. I can't thank you guys enough for riding that play with me. It means the world. But I do have a problem, Teddy, that I'm hoping you can solve. So I have new track pants. They're like camouflage American Eagle track pants.
Yeah, no one wants to see your crotch. Well done.
Thank you, Teddy. And there are many people that want to see my crotch. Maybe not on this show.
I'm taking the under on the number of people that want to see your crotch.
Dude, Dan's ex-girlfriend wanted to see my crotch. Anyway.
Okay, that's one.
The point, what was the point I was making? Oh yeah. So I've won 11 out of 13 days. 11 out of 13 days. I have not taken these pants off in 13 days, Teddy. I wore them to my own hockey game last night. After I sweated my butt off, I put them back on. And I still haven't taken them off. I don't know what to do, man. Like, I can't wash them and I can't take them off. I got to suck it up and just wear smelly old pants, right?
So let me get this straight. Because I'm pretty sure you've showered at some point in the last 13 days.
Oh, yeah.
So you get out of the shower, you're all clean, you do whatever ritual you do, and then you put on the dirty sweatpants afterwards.
Yep.
All right. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Dude,
11 of 30,
you
11 winning days in the last 13.
You want to hear how
a 5% winner last night? Just keep doing what you're doing.
Dude, you want to hear how ridiculously superstitious I am?
No.
On Monday night, I went to the...
I said no.
Too bad. On Monday night, I went to the most expensive fine dining restaurant in all of Toronto. I could not wear track pants to that restaurant. I literally wore them underneath my pants.
Sure, you can do that in Toronto because it's freezing cold out all the time.
Yeah, so and to think that I said like 3 weeks ago that I'm not superstitious. Oh God. Bryan Leonard joining us. How are you, my friend?
I was hoping to get on a show that they actually talk sports, but that's okay. I just feel bad for your wife.
Oh, I don't feel bad for my wife. She's with me.
Now I really feel bad for your wife.
What more could you want? So, guys, before we get into the games, I want to start with a question that Kyle Zimmerman asked. And I don't know exactly what the answer is here. And I'm curious, Teddy, we'll go to you first. Kyle Zimmerman writes, I am a subscriber to WagerTalk, and I'm on an 0-9 run. What is the best way to handle a slump? I get it. I know the risk, but it's hard to keep making wagers when my bankroll is steadily dropping. Firstly, Kyle, thank you for not being rude or mean about that. That was well written. Teddy, what does somebody like Kyle do in this situation?
The first thing you do is you breathe. And that's the most important thing. And it feels like Kyle's been doing that. Some guys, you're going to skid and, it tightens up and you don't want to pucker up. You take a breath. These can and will happen. All right. Not like I'm running real good right now. Congrats on your run, Prez, but I'm on the other end of that spectrum. We'll talk a little bit about that when it comes to what bettors learned last night. But the most important thing to do is to breathe. You don't panic. You go about your business the way you go about your business. And this run, like all runs, will end. That would be my number one piece of advice. Is just breathe. It'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, as long as you're not doubling up and tripling up and doing anything in terms of bankroll management that's not appropriate, you'll be fine. It's going to happen. Not often, hopefully, but it will happen. If you need, take a day off, come back the next day. Sometimes that's the best way to breathe. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Are you asking my opinion? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yes.
I agree. The one thing you don't want to do is change everything that's worked for you in the past. A lot of guys will do that right in the middle of a streak, and then you've just taken in all the losses on that streak of what you've done well, and now you're leaving it when all the wins are coming right behind it. So sports betting is very streaky. I've been doing this 40 years. I've lost 12 or 13 games in a row. It happens. You get into a streak, bad things happen. I'm still around. I mean, you've got to be able to realize that these things are going to happen. You're going to have your great streaks, and congratulations on that, Prez. But we all have ups and downs, and it's a long season. It's a long year. It's a long life. And basically just don't give up on what has worked in the past just because you got a small sample size. And that's the problem. People react to small sample sizes. You get the worst team in the league wins a game, then all of a sudden, hey, are they back? Can we bet on this team? You got to take that into account with what they've done for all the season before that.
Yeah, and just really quick to add to that, there's a reason that we at WagerTalk play a percentage of our bankroll. Most of my plays, the majority are 3% of my bankroll. If you're playing a percentage of your bankroll, as you go on a losing streak, your actual bets are going to decrease. They're still going to remain 3% of your bankroll, but the dollar amount will decrease. The reason we do that is to take advantage of exponential growth when we're on a massive run, and also to protect us when we do have these slumps. So, Kyle, I'm deeply sorry for your 0-9. You just got to keep at it. It's going to turn around, and usually when it does in a really good way. Brian, let's get straight into it. I was on Puck Time today. We spent most of the time talking about Dan's love life, but we did get to some hockey. Detroit tonight, and a Detroit team that's reeling, really, is playing Tampa Bay. You know, Tampa Bay and New Jersey, because I'm fascinated about this Florida game, are both on back-to-back travel days. Tampa Bay played Toronto last night. Detroit's an hour flight from Toronto, but either way, they only got to the airport at probably best case 11 o'clock last night. Then they have to fly to Detroit, find a hotel room. This Tampa Bay team didn't get to sleep till late. I think it's a terrible spot to bet Tampa Bay here. I like Detroit at plus 136. I'm curious where you're going.
Unless I missed something, this game is being played at 7 p.m. tonight Eastern, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
What does them going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning have to do when they don't play till 7?
Firstly, we've seen this play out. It throws their clock off. Like, the bottom line is, it throws their clock off. They don't get the same amount of sleep. They will come into this game tired on a back-to-back with less sleep than they normally get. I factor that into my handicapping. Clearly you don't, which is fine. We all have different methods. What are you doing in this game anyway?
All right. Well, these teams play back-to-back games a lot during the season. They're in the same time zone. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do agree second of back-to-back is tough. In fact, if you're looking at this from a spot standpoint, I agree. Detroit's probably in a good spot. They've lost 5 games in a row at home. Yep. They're about to go on the road after they play this game. They should have confidence. They've beaten Tampa Bay the last 2 times they played them, I believe. In fact, 15 days ago. The problem is, if you take a look at how these 2 teams have played in December, you don't want any part of Detroit here. I take a look at expected goals. I'm a big expected goals guy. Andrew talked about it on the hockey show. And that's one of the reasons why I have a lot of success, is because I'm looking at how the teams have played and not what the results are. And that's how you win betting sports. If you take a look at the expected goals of the month of December so far, in 60 minutes, playing 5-on-5. So this is no penalty shots, no penalty defense, any of that stuff. It's just a 5-on-5, which the teams play the vast majority of the time. You've got Tampa on the season, in the month of December, at plus 0.73 goals per game, which is very good. You also have the Red Wings coming in at minus 0.99. So they are being should be being outscored every game by 1 goal a game. You add up the Lightning, it should be about 1.5 goal advantage here for the Lightning. Now, Tampa has struggled offensively last night when they did play Toronto. I had Toronto. Andrew had Toronto. A lot of guys around Toronto. In fact, a lot of guys had big winning days yesterday. That was a revenge game for Toronto when they played Tampa. But this is a revenge game for Tampa now, and they've done very good when they've been off of a loss. We know what they've done in past seasons when they've won the Stanley Cup. They're 8-2 this season in the games after a loss. They're also 2-2 in the second game of a back-to-back. They're not using their starting goaltender tonight. This will be the backup goaltender. Yeah. I understand all of that. The situation, the backup goaltender, but there's no way I'm playing Detroit right now. They're just not playing well. The spot's great and everything, but they're just not playing well. And you've got a veteran Tampa Bay team who were right in that game last night till late. I believe it was 4-1 final. It was 2-1 for a long time. They'll come back, and they're playing a lesser team today. I really like Tampa Bay here in a revenge spot against a team they just lost 15 days ago.
Brian says, look at the Lightning in Detroit this evening in NHL action. Brian, let's talk a little NFL, and you've got a classic Wong teaser that you're looking at for this week. Of course, those who aren't familiar, a Wong teaser is is how to win betting teasers. You're taking your bigger favorites of more than a touchdown and teasing them down below a field goal using those 6 points. You're taking your shorter underdogs of less than a field goal and teasing them up to more than a touchdown, taking advantage of all the key numbers, 3, 4, 6, and 7 in between. The 2 teams you're going to talk about here, are the Las Vegas Raiders, who play the Steelers on Sunday night, and the Baltimore Ravens, who are playing Atlanta this week. Talk about those two teams and why they are optimal teaser candidates for
you mentioned
16 in the NFL.
Stanford Wong is noted because of his excellent book. I believe it's called Way in the Odds. I've got a whole library of great books that have been written. In fact, Kevin Dolan, one of our handicappers at WagerTalk, has a book, and I've read it, and I met him the first time. I said, you know what? I didn't realize it was you. I bought this book years ago. Very good beginning handicapping book. So go out there and grab that and support Kevin. Even though Stanford Wong is credited for these teasers, actually Ed Meyer of MTI Sports, a friend of ours from Cleveland, he put out a book about this before that, and he was making a ton of money betting teasers back when people really didn't know that much about them. And when you're betting teasers, for the most part, you want to bet a low total game with a team that doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Kansas City Chiefs, back when Marty Schottenheimer were there, they'd be tremendous. But you're also looking to cover the key numbers, 3, 4, 6, and 7. I'm looking at this week's card, and granted, as the week goes on and the lines move, they do have a better winning percentage game day than they do when you play them earlier in the week. But I don't think these two lines are going to move very much here. I'm looking at Baltimore playing at home against Atlanta. We're looking at 7.5 right now, with a total of anywhere from 36.5 to 37.5. Very low total game. As we all know, the weather in the north is going to be really tough, and Prez knows all about this, living in Toronto. The main drawback of living in Canada is the weather is really cold there, and it's going to be that way in a lot of these NFL games this week. You got an Atlanta team with an inexperienced quarterback going on the road, playing in cold weather, which they're not used to down there. And this Baltimore team needs everyone they can get to make the playoffs. They're like a game behind Cincinnati now. The Bengals are on a terrific run, and we're getting Baltimore under that key number of 3. That's my first half of this teaser. I used the second half is the Sunday night game in case you have a nice play on that teaser and you want to use a money line or something to that effect the other way on this. This gives you another option, but I like Vegas on Sunday night against Pittsburgh. Line on that's 2.5, so we're taking them up to 8.5. Total's 39, so it's another low-scoring game, and what's going to be a cold environment. Chances of snow very high. Pittsburgh's a team with 2 backup quarterbacks. They're going to be getting back, the gentleman from Pitt. I don't know if I'd ever draft a quarterback with the name of Pickett, but he's supposed to be back this week. But they've got 2 guys that haven't done anything offensively. In fact, they've had bad quarterback play for the last few years now, with Roethlisberger getting old. But Vegas getting that win last week changed the whole outlook for this team. They were about to be knocked out of the playoffs. They made so many stupid mistakes as the season's gone on. And finally, somebody, amazingly, a Bill Belichick team, makes the stupid play, and the Raiders pull that up their asses, to be honest with you. Brand new outlook on the season. They've got their receivers back. This is a team right now that's healthy for the first time in a long time. They've had a lot of injuries. Getting this thing over a touchdown with Vegas is the way to go, and it is the Sunday night game, so we can all watch that.
Yeah, and Brian, what you're saying makes total sense, especially in this Raiders game, because Pittsburgh, if they win this game, it's going to still be close. We have a lot of people in the chat room that are saying, is it Pickett? Is it Trubisky? My knowledge as of now is it's Pickett who will play. Teddy?
Yes, the information came out yesterday that Pickett is expected to start this week.
Yes, sirree. Bryan Leonard, everyone. Brian, outstanding job like always, my friend. I know you might feel the need to promote me today. I got myself. I'll handle it. Promote yourself. What do you got going?
You are the best at promoting yourself. You're very good at that. When you
I'm
are
pretty good at promoting other people too, Bri.
Anyway, I've got 3 hockey plays up today. I just gave you one of them.
Nice.
We've got 2 more going today. It's a full card of college basketball. I've already got 2 plays up in afternoon action. One play up for tonight. College basketball season has been tremendous the last year and a half, 2 years. I do a lot with the shot quality numbers and it gives you a lot of advantages. And now that we're getting into conference play and these teams see each other more than once, we can make a good money in college basketball. So just grab the whole day package for myself today. I'll be looking at NBA and some other things later on tonight. But a full slate. We had 9 plays yesterday, went 6-3. I'm sure I'll have something similar to that tonight.
Bryan Leonard, everyone, outstanding stuff, guys. I think I went 4-0 in the daily presidential address yesterday. If we don't get 100 likes today, you're not getting one, and I'm going to take it personally. Teddy Covers, what did you learn in the wonderful world of sports betting?
I want to talk about riding streaks, particularly the New York Knickerbockers. And last week I had them twice. Had them against the Bulls in both games. And this was a team absolutely bet on all the way. All right. You read some of the quotes, Quentin Grimes. I feel like right now we're clicking on offense and defense for sure. The one game, Chicago shot 55% from the floor. They only missed 3 free throws in 22 attempts. They forced 18 turnovers, committed only 12, and lost straight up and against the spread. That's how well the Knicks have been playing. So I cashed back-to-back winners with the Knicks, and that's exactly how you start riding a streak. You jump on it fairly early, and then as soon as they're out, boom. As soon as the line comes out, as soon as you see it, as soon as you see the market moves, whatever it is, you get right on that squad. The Knicks played in Indiana, and somehow, some way, after the 2 wins against the Bulls, somehow I thought the spot was right. I was worried about the Pacers coming with a big effort, and it didn't feel like the best spot. And the Knicks ended up stealing that game and winning it. But now I'm not riding the streak anymore. And then last night they're playing the Warriors. And look, felt like a really public play. Everyone was on the Knicks, and everyone knows that Golden State can't win on the road. And I talked myself out of last night's play on the Knicks as well. And of course, it couldn't have been any easier. The Knicks blew them off the floor. And the big public popular play was the right side. Okay. When you're riding the streaks, you don't worry about that. You're like, this team is undervalued. I know they're undervalued. They're playing good. Let's ride them. When you do it effectively, you cash ticket after ticket after ticket when you get on the right team at the right time. Unfortunately, I botched my riding the Knicks right now. I'm a little bit frustrated about it, Prez. That's what I learned last night. What about you?
Teddy, listen, I was mad as well last night that I didn't take the Knicks. It was such a perfect spot, especially given that it was the second game without Seth Curry, and we've seen that play out so many times where the team rallies together and plays incredible, and then they just completely pooch it. It's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing as you about the Knicks. I was so frustrated that I didn't put them out. Thank God I still had a winner yesterday in NBA because that at least made it feel better. But, man, if I have lost my NBA – oh, man. So I get – yeah. Dude, you've been so hot for like 9 months or something. This is
that was
just
like months ago. This has not been a great run. My clients will tell you. Trust me.
You'll get it going. That I promise. Tony Finn joining us. Tony, what's up, man? We love having you on. How you been?
Good. It's a good day. You know my mantra when I wake up, it's a good day. So I get a lot. Yeah.
Listen, Tony, I wish, and I've said this before, I wish that I could set the bar so low that happiness equates to waking up. I am jealous of you. You literally just need to wake up and then you're super happy. My bar is so much higher. And the joke is on me, not you. Yeah. Love the coloring right now, dude. Love that you're like pink with your pink complexion. Really? Excellent work.
I'm in Vegas.
How you been, man? You been winning?
I've been it's been hot, cold, kissing my sister last week or so, but NBA's been good. So that is always a plus because I'm one of the few. I don't know a whole lot. Maybe you do. I think Teddy does a little bit. I really enjoy the NBA, and most people say I don't want to watch the NBA until playoffs. So, which is quite a quite a
Ever.
ways away. Yeah. Well,
Freaking hate
Cal-
the NBA.
yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy the soap opera that it is. So,
Well, that's good. Let's start right there. Charlotte Hornets tonight playing the
Yeah.
Clippers. Clips are -7. 10:40 p.m. Eastern game. What are you doing here, my friend?
well, I'm riding with the Clippers, and I have been as long as Kawhi and Paul George and Ringo are on the starting lineup, then I'm with the Clips, especially against a team like Charlotte, who's over the last couple of weeks the worst offensive team metrically, the worst defensive team metrically. They don't seem to want to play. Listen, this team, despite what coach says and the speech and the media talk that these guys present, they just haven't played in defense, and they don't look like they care very much. A little disconcerting for the coach, and I think he works hard, and I think this team has some talent, but they just don't look very good right now. And the Clippers, it's a special night maybe for the Clippers. Maybe a special night, guys. Everybody's practiced yesterday, so they're healthy. They do have some injury designations, but from what I understand, everyone's going to start. George, Kawhi, everybody that's important on the Clippers. No, it's the first time, actually, that Kawhi will start. It's the first time Kawhi will start with all the other first four, and he's been pretty good when he's in the lineup and playing his minutes. He hasn't been extended minutes, but Charlotte's. Listen, I thought 7 was a little low. I had this game at about a 10 or 11, so the 7 was a no-brainer. I mean, I'm jumping on, and we'll see what happens. But I expect the Clippers to be really good defensively, and Charlotte just can't score. So Kawhi gets his 20, George gets his 20, and the rest of the guys balance it out, and we get a double-digit win.
Teddy?
Well, the 7s are gone. The 7.5s are gone. The 8s are disappearing fairly quickly. So that's not. I mean, you can still find 8s out there, but the number right now, 8.5 for the Clips. I went back and looked. This will be the Clippers' 33rd game this season, and I know they've dealt with injuries from day one.
Yeah.
But in the first 32 games, they covered 1 point spread at -7.5 or higher. This hasn't really been their role. Are you worried at all about A, the money pouring in on the Clips right now, and B, the fact that they've spent all season not covering numbers like this one? And C, are you worried that Charlotte on this road trip, 2-0 ATS coming off a win, they had that awful homestand, and they went on the road, and they've kind of come to life a little bit. So I guess I have 3 follow-up questions for the one game.
I'm always worried about money pouring in on a team, Teddy. That always worries me. It's typical of teams that are either injury riddled or facing someone that's injury riddled, and the money seems to always pour in on the team that's healthy, and it rarely is a good position to take in the NBA. In this situation, I didn't expect the 7 to be there or to last. I've been kind of working and listening to you guys, so I didn't look at the number before I got on the air, but I don't expect this number to quit climbing. I expect it to be about a 9.5 before it closes.
Tony Finn joining us. Tony, outstanding, dude. Let's go to the next game.
Sure.
College hoops. TCU Horned Frogs. They're playing the Utes. -2 for Utah. 9 p.m. Eastern game. What are you doing here, my brother?
I'm going to hang with the visitors at altitude tonight and play some defense and basically outscore the Utes. The Utes they're not offensive juggernauts. They're a lot like TCU. They want to play defense. They want to be physical, in your face. I'm a big fan of Jamie Dixon. I don't know how you guys feel about him, but you'll see if you glance over at the TCU Frogs surface peripherals or surface numbers, you'll see that they average 77 a game. That's a little bit of a mirage. They haven't played a very stiff schedule, let's say, and this is really going to be I think it'll be their toughest test of the season. But the Big 12's tough. Jamie Dixon does a great job with his teams on the road, and I expect, I have no doubt in my mind that TCU will be right there in the game with the Utah team that has one pretty good win over Arizona this year. So in TCU, the Horned Frogs in Utah. I like the Frogs. You're probably going to get 2 points at the most. It looks like I saw this line moving 1.5, 2. I don't expect it to move too much.
Yeah, I mean, we got Utah. It's short chalk exactly right now.
Yeah.
And you say TCU's the better of these two teams right now. How much is that? I mean, Utah did not look good in the loss to BYU over the weekend. They in a game that they're supposed to come out and step up for. They were kind of flat and lethargic. It didn't play well throughout. Is that a piece of the puzzle here, or is this? I mean, what is it about Utah that you don't like right now?
Well, it's not that I don't like Utah. Utah is long and not quite as athletic, obviously, as a TCU team. That's not going to be the 6'9", 6'8" in that lineup. Terrific offensive rebounding team. Utah protects the glass pretty well, but I just think they're going to be out nimbled, if that makes sense to you. And this TCU team will be they'll want to bounce back from that BYU effort. Utah, pretty steady Eddie. Don't score a lot. I just don't think they can score. If that makes sense with TCU, with the Jamie Dixon squad. This is a really versatile, balanced club, the Horned Frogs, and they're going to be right there at the top of the Big 12 standings. Not the top, but in the top half. So,
Tony Finn, outstanding
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
What do you got to promote?
I have. I think I'm going to promote the Prez.
Shut up
Bryan.
and promote yourself.
No, yeah, listen, I'm locked and loaded. I have college basketball, NBA for tonight. Then I have an array of bowls through next week. The ones I've selected and that I'm fond of. I've got the NFL getting ready to put up for Saturday, Sunday, and even Monday. And tomorrow night I have a position in that Jets and Jags game.
There you go, Tony Finn, everyone. Daniel's son, cue up the commercial. Get ready for Teddy's big game breakdown. We still got more.
In the spirit of the holidays, we want you to celebrate with your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicappers and do it at a discount by giving you a one-time 25% off everything you can fit into your cart between now and midnight on December 25th using coupon code GIFT25 when checking out. While this coupon can only be used once at WagerTalk and once at Sports Memo, the value is unlimited and there is no limit on what you can add to your cart when redeeming. Daily, all access, season, pick your team, and even mix and match handicappers as the combinations are endless. Remember, there is no limit to the number of handicappers at WagerTalk and Sports Memo you can lock in, but coupon code GIFT25 will expire at midnight on Christmas. On behalf of everyone at WagerTalk, Sports Memo, and Gold Sheet, we want to thank you for supporting us in 2022 by watching our videos, following us on social media, and trusting us with your wagers. However you celebrate, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk some Thursday night NFL, the Jets and the Jaguars right now. Looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen. There's some pick'ems out there. There's some Jets -1 out there. Total, what are we looking at? 36s for Thursday night football. Not going to be good weather for Jacksonville, a Florida team, and two offenses that come and go. Let's leave it like that. Now, in theory, supposed to be a good spot for the Jets, right? You have the Jags with travel, on a short week, off an overtime game with weather. That's the theory. The practice is that the Jets are slumping right now, okay? This is not a team playing good football. 0-3 straight up their last three, 2-5 their last 7. One of the wins coming against the Bears team that's not trying to win a whole lot right now. Jets aren't playing good. And the veteran quotes, I don't like one bit. Dwayne Brown, the left tackle, talking about playing on Thursday night. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, especially not week 16. Know what I'm saying? You know, it's not ideal at all physically. For veterans like him, you dread it leading up to the Thursday game. You know, this week is going to be a physical game. Both of us are playing for our lives. Week 16, have a Thursday night game. Your body really feels it. So it's a Jets team that the veterans aren't buying in this week that are concerned about it. The quarterback play has been dicey. They're not running good right now, finding ways to lose winnable games instead of the other way around. And here's Jacksonville with back-to-back wins. It's not a team we love on the road. It's not a team we love to have a winning streak. But one thing really stands out for Jacksonville right now, more than the Jets. The Jets spent all season playing mediocre games and finding ways to steal them at the end. The Jags have figured out how to play mediocre football for extended stretch of a game and step it up and turn it on and flip the switch. We've seen that a fair bit in recent weeks. I would not be surprised if we see it this week as well. Give me the Jags on Thursday Night Football. Even with the travel, even with the weather, I think we take care of business at MetLife against the Jets. Pick 'em price range. I think Jacksonville is a better of these two teams, at least for this matchup. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy, I love it. And also just to make mention, Trevor Lawrence, number one pass completion percentage since November 1st, really playing excellent ball right now. Teddy, Art DeCesare was unable to make the show today, which is a shame. He is having internet issues. It does happen. What we're going to do here is throw me any NFL game you want to talk about. I'll give you my thoughts. You'll give me yours. Go ahead. Anyone. We have
any
not
NFL game you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk what stands out this week. Let's talk about some of the ones that Bryan mentioned. All right, let's talk about the Falcons and the Ravens. What do you do with that?
The Falcons and the Ravens, I actually really like this game. Last week we took Baltimore under and the Falcons under, cashed both. And honestly, there's no reason to overthink this. I'm looking to take the dog and the under here as well. In Atlanta's 6 games, in their last 6 games, they put up 18 points, 16 points, 13 points, 27, 15, and 17. It's not like they played San Fran along the way, and those are just brutal numbers. As for the Ravens, their offense is just as bad. They put up 3, 16, 10, 27, and 13 points in their last 5 games. I know this total is low, Teddy. 20-17 still gets us under that total. The weather will be cold. The field will be shitty. Neither of these teams can throw the ball. Teddy, the Falcons have the second worst passing team in the league. The second worst. They're averaging 150 freaking yards. If you close your eyes and think, what is a realistic score here? 16-13 comes to mind. That still gives us 8.5 points under that total. I'm taking the dog and I'm taking the under.
So if you're trying to bet the under, I would do that right
now.
Minute. The 38s are gone. The 37.5s are going. Prez, I'm seeing that the leading indicator book's 36.5 right now, which 20-17 would not cash an under.
Right.
So,
but 16-13 will.
Yeah, but you don't have 8.5 points to spare. But when the leading indicator books are showing, telling us this total's going down, if you want that under, bet it sooner rather than later. How about what was the other game that he talked about? The Raiders and the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Where would you go there?
You know, to me, this is going to be one of my games that I pass on. But I do agree that the Raiders are perfect in the Wong teaser. I think Bryan really set it up very well. You know, a lot of people think Pittsburgh is going to win this game outright. And with Pickett coming back, he has looked really, really good. Vegas is a mess to me. I don't believe that they turned their season around with that fluke win from last week. I hate to tell you this, dude. I'm passing on this one.
That's fine. You're allowed to pass. That's one of the edges we have. What about the Giants and the Vikings? What do you do with that? The G-Men ever going to bounce back?
So this game is fascinating because I took the Vikings last week at -3.5. They obviously did not cover. But Teddy, the path to them covering that 3.5 was there. They got into overtime. They won the coin toss. They had scored 5 drives in a row, ending in touchdowns, give or take. I think they had 5 out of 6 of the last drives. I'm looking at this game and I'm thinking, how can you not bet the Vikings here? I know they played terrible in the first half against Indianapolis, but here we have a situation where they got to feel really confident. There are very few, no team has ever come back from being down 33-0. They did. That has to bode well. I get that the Giants team played really well against Washington, but they were lucky to get out of there with the win. Their running game was great, and their D was amazing, but their D was amazing against Washington. Their D wasn't amazing indoors against a well-balanced offensive machine known as the Vikings. I got to think the Vikings can get us to 24 points in this game. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to keep up. I know Minnie is the worst defense in all of football, points allowed, but they're playing the Giants, so I don't know how much that's actually going to come into play. I love the moxie they showed in their comeback. I think Minnesota at -3 is the right play.
And there's 3 games on Christmas Day, as we've talked all the Christmas Eve. So if there's one of the 3 that stands out to you, why don't you break down some Christmas Day NFL, or give quick hitters on all 3 if you like.
Yeah, so listen, I'll tell you right off the bat, as of now, I'm passing on the Denver Rams game. I just can't get to the window on that game. There's way better opportunity out there. As for Tampa Bay and Arizona, I can't take Tampa Bay at -6.5, and Arizona's a mess. We don't even know who their quarterback is going to be yet. So I'm passing on both those games. As far as the Green Bay and Miami game goes, the only way I can bet this game is Miami. I hate that it's 4.5 here, Teddy. I think that number is pretty damn good. But here we have a Miami team coming off of what, the number has changed?
That's pretty much 4 across the board.
Okay, 4. Sorry, not 4.5. 4. Thanks for interrupting there. Okay, so I hate that it's 4. Either way,
I wasn't sure. If it was the hook that you were upset about.
No, I wanted it to be 2.5. Damn it!
Oh, sure.
But you can't get what you can't have your cake and eat it, as they say. But listen, man, Miami is coming off 3 losses in a row, and they really, really played outstanding football against Buffalo. This Green Bay team is phony. I know they won in their last game, but come on, who did they beat? I know Green Bay thinks they have a path to the playoffs. They don't. Miami is playing at home. They have to start winning, putting a streak together, or they're going to not make the damn playoffs. I'm not going to bet this game, but I do lean on Miami -4.
There you go. Great stuff from Lawrence President, breaking down the world of the NFL. Lawrence, how about a presidential address? Are we close?
Yeah, brother, we're way over. Let's go. All right, guys, it's time for the NFL presidential address. I have some hockey bets to give you just to make mention. I swept the board yesterday in the NHL, and I'm finally starting to see the NHL right. I have just gone through like 3 months of 3 weeks of complete and total NHL disaster. Before we get into that, I do want to make mention, I have 3 college basketball plays up tonight and 1 NBA play for my clients. My NBA play is a big play. It's a 4% best bet, but it would have been a 5% play had I not have had one last night. So it really made all the criteria, etc. But at WagerTalk, we only are allowed 6 5% plays a month, so I couldn't get it in there. So it's a 4%er, but I absolutely love it. I'm also, Teddy, I'm on an 18-8 and 25-11 college basketball run. I'm on a 5-1 NBA run. I'm on a 33-15 basketball run altogether. 3 CBBs, 1 NBA going tonight over at WagerTalk. Make sure to grab that package. As for the NHL tonight, I'm passing for my clients, but I do love Florida. Florida tonight is playing the New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils have lost 6 in a row. They just lost last night. They're in a back-to-back spot. I think Florida is a bet-on team moving forward. I actually think we're going to see them go on a run. And that's important because if we can try to figure out when these teams are going on 6-game, 7-game runs before it even begins, there's money to be made. And I think that's where Florida sits right now. I'm taking Florida at minus 140. I also like over the total of the Edmonton-Dallas game. It is 6.5. I think we're going to get a lot of goals scored in that game as well. And I like under the total in the Arizona-Vegas game. My brother, I'm having a shawarma today, no joke. Take us home.
That's going to wrap it for the Wednesday edition of Wager Talk Today. We'll do it again at the same time, same channel tomorrow, right here on Wager Talk TV. 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, you guys know what to do. Enjoy the games, and best of luck with all your wagers today.
The Gold Sheet wants you to end the 2022 football season on a winning note while getting a head start on planning for the next season. Founded in 1957, the Gold Sheet is the country's longest-running sports betting newsletter and has served bettors for over 6 decades. So if between 1957 and now, if you have not checked out the Gold Sheet, here's your chance to see what you have been missing out on at a huge discount. Each weekly edition of the Football Gold Sheet is normally $15, but for the holidays, you can get every edition from now through Super Bowl 57 for just a total of $19. If you like what you see, take advantage of the super early bird pricing for next year by locking in your Football Gold Sheet subscription for 2023 for just $99. You will receive every college football and NFL edition for next season for just $99, plus a free $59 credit to use towards Gold Sheet's LTS picks at WagerTalk. Instructions for redeeming your WagerTalk credit will be sent shortly after your purchase. Just go to goldsheet.com, click the Buy Now button, choose a 2022 Football Gold Sheet for $19, and lock yourself in through the Super Bowl